van der Beste is. Tian Swanepoel and in the wing. Superb flick.
In die rechtervleugel.
A strong fin.
What do I do?
A huge thank you to the Rondebosch boys sports teams who will be joining us on the fields today and tomorrow in yellow socks, all in support of the Sunflower Fund, supporting our campaign of Sunflower Day on the 20th of September, encouraging people to join the registry to become a stem cell donor, and supporting our campaign by going to their nearest Pick n Pay store and purchasing their tops.
Thank you very much, Alana. Yes, I would encourage you to follow up on that. This is where we are tonight, the Western Province Cricket Club in downtown Cape Town. It's Rondebosch against Bishops, one of the big encounters in any sport, and that's the way it is. It's nowhere near 16 degrees now. It's dropping, it's plummeting. It's going to be horrible, but no rain. It says precipitation 4%, but I think we're going to get away with it, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, wherever you are listening in the world, don't forget you can follow us on YouTube, on Twitter and on Facebook at School Sport Live. I've got alongside me Steve Evans, 96 caps for South Africa. What are you doing these days, Steve, apart from talking to me?
Sure, Andy, just a little bit of technology and app development, and then of course playing a little bit of hockey still myself here at Western Province in the reserve league with the second team, and then a little bit of Masters as well.
Wonderful atmosphere here tonight, and this is your local, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's fantastic just to see such a huge turnout. It's Derby Day, so you know that's what we can expect. And what's been fantastic is, you know, in the old days it used to be Derby Day just for rugby, and of course now hockey's become much more popular, and the levels have been steadily improving, and it's just great to have facilities like this to experience hockey of this nature.
Now, one of the things that we can do before the game gets underway is catch up with the two captains. And first of all, the captain of Rondebosch, who is Liam Sorensen.
Tonight's obviously a very big game, and we'll be looking forward to it very much, because obviously last time we unfortunately went down 4-1, so we'll be looking to put that out of our minds and get some redemption tonight. We'll be playing in yellow socks instead of our normal blue socks tonight. That's just for the Sunflower Fund, and we're hoping to just raise awareness for that. And yeah, we'll be doing that tonight. And obviously it's our last game as Matrix, so it's going to be a very special one. And yeah, we just hope it's going to be a very tight game and a good one for the support. Yeah.
Thanks very much to Rondebosch captain Liam Sorensen. You'll know his elder brother very well from the PHL, from IPT and all that sort of thing. That's the way that the Rondebosch First 11 looks tonight. Some very good young players in that team. Cole Wahlberg, as he's written down there, I think he calls himself Volbruch. I stand on a connection there, but he also played in the PHL this year and looked a really, really good young player. So we look forward to seeing them. And this Rondebosch side, well, it's packed with SA under 18, under 16 players, and we'll point those out to you as the game goes on. Now let's turn our attention to Bishops. Bishops has had a wonderful season. This is their 34th game. They've won 30, lost just 2, but one of those was against Rondebosch, and we had a chance to catch up with their captain, James Howard.
Bishops vs Rondebosch is always our most look forward to fixture in the season. It's obviously the biggest one, and the rivalry is really huge. Tonight is really going to be a tight game. Obviously we played them twice already. We lost to them in the knockout final, which hurt us a lot, but we came back and winning 4-1 in the last fixture, so it's going to be huge. For the Matrix, last one ever, so keen to get out there and play. It's going to be such a tight game, and the last one the decider.
Young James, in addition to being the hockey captain, is also the cricket captain. And captains a side that includes Mustafa Kasim. Now, if you haven't seen this lad play, you're in for a treat. And I can tell you that just before the game, there's going to be a special little ceremony. And he is going to be honoured because he's winning his 100th cap for Bishops tonight. That's an amazing record, Steve, for anybody to win 100 caps at school.
Absolutely, Andy, and I think yeah, testament to obviously the skill and maturity of the young man. Also, just looking at across the field there, I think what's been great is our South African national team are with us this evening, and I think they've just been a part of that presentation there. And I think his older brother Diane just made the presentation as well.
Oh, splendid! Right, so I do apologise that we missed that on camera, but it has already happened. Of course. In order to win 100 caps, he had to make his debut back in grade 9. And we don't have any grade 9s in the side tonight, but there are no less than 9 grade 11s. So the coach of Bishops was chatting to us before the game, and he said that he's really looking forward to next year, when all of these kids who've been blooded this year will be in their matric year, and they will be full of life, full of vim. Now, there is the Bishops side, and you will note, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that there are no numbers on their backs. Now, I have to admit, I have never seen any of these boys before. Neither has Steve. So we hope that as the game goes along, we will be able to identify them for you. I remember the great Chick Henderson, one of my mentors, did an entire game of rugby, schools game, where neither side had numbers. And Chick managed to get through it. So we'll see whether we can get through it tonight. And Bishops, it looks as if they will be playing from right to left on your screens. Everybody's wrapped up warm. And the bar, I must say, was pumping when I arrived an hour ago. I've no doubt that there will be lots of noise emanating from that magnificent clubhouse. The Alan Lacey stand. Who was Alan Lacey?
Yeah, Alan's probably one of Western Province's sort of most well-known names. I'm not sure whether he actually represented South Africa, but certainly was around yeah, during the 70s and 80s. Very instrumental in the club, having been the chairman for a number of years. He sadly passed away, I think, last year or the year before. And so yeah, the club made a decision to name the stand after him, which I think is a fitting tribute to a great competitor. Someone that put a huge amount of time and effort and love into this club. So,
oh, that's wonderful. And yeah, I look across from where we are commentating now, and there is not a seat to be had in that stand anywhere. They're all crowded up against the windows of the bar as well. A number of people will be fortified by a certain amount of alcohol, and they'll be staying out of the wind as well up there. But there's also lots of people you can see on your screens along the side of the field, and the stands to my left and my right are full of schoolboys, and it really is a wonderful occasion. It does make me wish I went to a school like this.
Yeah, I think, Andy, you know, from also I was at Maritzburg College, and we also used to have those rivalries, and certainly it is. Those are the games that you look forward to, that you want to bring your A game, you want to show your school friends and family, you know, that you're up for the challenge. But I think the biggest thing is the bragging rights for the rest of life. So it was actually great. We just had the Masters Interprovincial Championships up in Joburg this last weekend, and again catching up with so many old friends, you know, and being able to play against them and also, you know, have a drink with them afterwards and reminisce about those good old days and games just like this.
And I come across again those guys in rugby where their team might have lost the last 20 in a row, but when they were at school, they won. And as you say, they carry it through life.
Fantastic. And Andy, I know you've been out in Stellenbosch commentating on the Africa Cup, which is in progress at the moment. How's that tournament been rolling out from your perspective?
Yeah, a little bit disappointing up front with two countries pulling out at the very last minute. That was Nigeria and Uganda. And that meant that they actually had to change the whole format of the tournament. It went from being playing in two pools to a round robin. And what that means is that the absolutely crucial game as far as South Africa are concerned is the final game on Sunday night when they will play against Egypt. And Egypt look like Egypt always look. Hard, direct, in your face. And that is going to be an enormous game. And I would urge anybody who wants to see a really good game of hockey, go to Marty's on Sunday and go early because there'll be hockey all day long. But the final game, which kicks off at 5 o'clock, South Africa against Egypt, is going to be an absolute humdinger because Olympic qualification rests upon it.
And Andy, it's interesting that you mentioned that sort of humdinger of a game. Having played against Egypt myself in many of those tournaments back in the day over the years, it's such an incredibly difficult tournament to play because the standard is so varied, you know, from top to bottom.
You find yourself being dragged down?
It's easy to mentally slip, you know, into sort of bad habits and you know, where you don't have to rock up for the game, and then it all boils down to that one game, which is always a heated affair. The Egyptians are pretty feisty at the best of times, and then throw in a, you know, being in somewhere up in Africa, or if you're lucky on home soil, and yeah, normally a partisan crowd, yeah, it's I don't think, in fact I think there was only one game that I played in over my career where the result wasn't decided by more than one goal, and that was the 99 Africa Cup in Johannesburg, where we beat them 4-0.
Right. So, Steinbacher, I wonder where you are. Let's go the Bosch, you say. Big game at the cage. When you tweet us, let us know where you are and what you're doing. I hope it's nothing illegal. And Ty Stewart says, come on, Bishy. I presume that means bishops. So, let me just get things right. Rondebosch playing from right to left on your screens. Standing over the ball is Douglas Cox. And away we go. Rondebosch Bishops. This is School Sports Live. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. And hashtag SSL Hockey. So straight away the singing has started to my left. And Rondebosch pushing the ball far downfield, but that's an incomplete pass. Reese Skierpers unable to get on the end of that one. Now
yeah,
Bishops
so
on the ball.
Sorensen and Skierpers at the two centre backs there for Rondebosch. A good combination, and it'll be interesting to see, yeah, how things progress during this game.
Bishop's giving up the ball, and interesting thing, that's obviously not a cell phone in his hand. Now long ball downfield, an early chance for Rondebosch, and Bishop's pushed into the corner. Long ball into the middle, and that's well picked up by Mustafa Kasim. Rondebosch sending it wide through Liam Sorensen, the captain. Taking it down the right-hand side. Rondebosch putting a bit of pace on the ball. They've got a man inside the D. There he is, looking for a deflection, but just too far behind. Asking for a ball down there is Max Stead. Chris Clark with the long overhead and brought under control by Cole Woolbrook. Nicely back to Jean-Luc Duval. And across field where it's picked up by Paul Rousseau. But easily taken over by Bishops. This is Ziggy Dalton. He's dispossessed though by Volbruch. And that's an interesting ball. Just a little bit too much heat on it. And unable to hunt it down was Michael White in that left-hand corner. Here's Volbruch again. And he's looking to push some interesting balls through, is Cole Volbruch. They're going to have to really keep an eye on him.
I think through these early exchanges, the Bishops' midfield is a little bit wide and a little bit stretched at the moment. So they're going to need to tighten up their midfield a little bit and get their key players on the ball.
Yes, they've been starved of possession by Rondebosch at the moment. These two sides have met twice this year with a win apiece. And Rondebosch unable to keep possession there. But it's very physical at the breakdowns. Josh Elliott has to leave it. And Rondebosch pushing players forward now. Lovely run, but unable to go any further. Liam Sorensen.
Not able to win the penalty corner there, and I think, Andy, that's really going to be one of the key things, is that you got to make the most of those circle entries and of the possession. Try and get an outcome in that end zone.
Well, certainly for Rondebosch, they'll be looking for those penalty corners. This is Kasim looking for a little bit of support, and the first circle entry for Bishops. Didn't really manage to get any heat on that, but that's the first penalty corner, and it goes the way of Bishops. So at the set piece, keep your eye on that boy on screen.
It'll be interesting to see who lines up. Looks like they're going for two castle approach. Kasim on the right castle.
This is Josh Elliott injecting for Bishops. An interesting variation there. It's blocked and goes high, wide, and not so handsome. The cheerleader trying to get involved. Very natty dress. And that ball to nobody in particular. And it'll be a long corner for Rondebosch. It'll be taken by Jordan Hazel. Pushes it back to Volbruch. Sorensen has a look. And that's a lovely turn under pressure. Good defence in the end. And Bishops will have possession and a chance to clear. So this is Josh Elliott. He's the man we saw injecting. Now back in defence. And remember, a lot of these boys are still in grade 11, including the man who's just been dispossessed, Mustafa Kasim. The close skills letting down Rondebosch there.
Max Steed in the midfield there.
It's Chris Clark pushing the ball forward, and that will blow the way of Bishops. Yeah, there's Chris Clark then. He's got a lot more hair than his uncle.
I see the Bishops pushing to 3 at the back there and pushing the extra player into midfield. So just trying to upset the numbers there for the Rondebosch guys and give them an extra player to worry about in midfield.
Rondebosch coming forward at pace now, down that right-hand side. Coming forward with real intent. They've certainly looked more dangerous around the final quarter than Bishops have to date, although Bishops have the only penalty corner. People wrapped up warm, as you can see. Lovely surface here, you were telling me, Steve, brand new, just about a year old.
Yeah, we've been very lucky here at the club in conjunction with Rondebosch, putting this surface down a good few years ago, and then the second turf, and then finally resurfacing this just as last year. And it certainly plays magnificently, and we've also been very lucky. We've just got some new Musco lights, so as you can see, it's almost like playing in the daylight.
Yeah, fab. She'll have to have a word with the powers that be. Here goes Kasim. Oh, that's a great ball forward, and just couldn't get Oh, it's come back off the post. That's one thing you always have to be wary of as a goalkeeper. And perhaps just a little bit fortunate there. Jordan New in goal for Rondebosch. A little bit of a miss hit as they come out of defence. Nobody up front. So turnover ball for Bishops. And pushing the ball around with some good skills now. Here's Kasim. Back to Clark. Yeah, the long ball is much too long. Maybe the wind got hold of that one. Let's have a look at the slow-mo.
Yeah, I just wasn't able to wait it sufficiently.
Nice idea. He's one of those chaps that seems to operate a couple of seconds ahead of everybody else. Sometimes that can be a problem for his own team. So Rondebosch piling forward again. We've had 9.5 minutes, 4 quarters in schools hockey of 15 minutes each. Shrill blast on the whistle. Have we got a...
Yeah, the short corner was awarded there for not retreating. I think one of the things that I've been quite impressed with from the Rondebosch boys is that their restarts have been... There's been a lot of urgency and they've taken nice quick restarts, so not allowing the Bishops' defence to get set. A little bit ill discipline there from Bishops. They'll be a bit disappointed with themselves giving away a soft corner like that.
So Rondebosch lining up. The stopper will be Jean-Luc Deval, number 2. And watch out for Liam Sorensen, who's got more than 20 goals this year as their number 1 flicker. And it is Sorensen who goes, and Howard with the kick off the line. Tim Kotzer, the keeper, managing to keep that out, but it's going to be a re-award.
So they've got Sparks and Sorensen on the left and right castle respectively. It'll be interesting to see if Sorensen gets another one, or if they're going to give Sparks a go. Bishop's lining up with a 3-1 corner defence.
It is Sorensen, and it's another good save from Kotzer. He's one of the grade 11 boys, and getting the right-hand mitt to that one. Still chances here for Rondebosch as they continue to dominate the circle. This is going to be a long corner. No, it's not going to be a long corner. It's going to be another penalty corner. So that will be number 3 for Rondebosch. Looks like Cole Volbrook has come forward now. He's the man in front of Sorensen. Brett Sparks to the left, and this time it's gone wrong. Volbrook unable to control the ball, and the quick ball forward to Mustafa Kasim. He's looking for a runner. That's a great ball across field, and just the first touch letting the forward down. There's still a chance though, and good save.
Yeah, a great save there from Gordon New, just protecting his near post, and well worked there from Oliver Diggle on that shot there.
So new in the team, Oliver Diggle, and didn't quite get all of that one, but even so, as you say, Steve, Jordan New with a good save there. So we've had action at either end, and we've got 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Here's Sorensen on the ball.
And this first quarter is so important to Andy, and in derby games at any level really. It's always about the pressure you can put on, and making sure that you don't make those mistakes which cost goals.
Rondebosch piling on the pressure. They will have the hit. Marching down to take it is Max, I would say Stead, you would say Steed, would you? S-T-E-A-D.
I'll have to look at my notes.
So the blow this time goes the way of Bishops, and they will get a chance to clear their lines. No score yet in this schoolboy derby. Last game ever at school for a lot of boys on the field. Emotional times for them. Nobody really dominating the D for Rondebosch there. So inside the last minute of the first quarter. And I would say on the balance of play, Rondebosch have probably had more of the game. But Bishops have kept the keeper busy on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactic. Bishops look like they've defended quite deep, but they've compacted things, making it very, very difficult and a lot of traffic to get through for the Rondebosch attack. So not much flow for the Rondebosch forwards up there.
So Bishops look as if they're winding down the clock here. 8 seconds left, and in fact less than that. The whistle has gone, and the end of the first quarter. Yeah, don't forget to support the Sunflower Fund. We're looking for stem cell donors. There's young Chris Clark leaving the field for Bishops. In fact, they're not leaving the field, they're going to stay on. And we will watch a little bit of the fun.
Having just sort of felt each other out tactically, Bishops having lined up a little bit more defensively than Rondebosch. Rondebosch putting a little bit more pressure on the defense there. And
let's just say hello to Jack Graham and Benjamin Hartman in Portugal.
Fantastic, welcome Jack.
Some people have all the luck. How's the weather in Portugal? It's probably hot.
Certainly a little bit warmer than where we are right now.
Yeah.
Although I have to say that you know, this would be mild compared to if we were sitting at Hartley Vale right now.
Yeah.
Certainly, I think the coldest place on the planet when it comes to hockey.
How about? Have you ever been there? Yellowknife in Canada?
Not to Yellowknife. Vancouver recently, but
I've heard of Yellowknife. Where's Yellowknife? You'll have to tweet us again. Calgary, somewhere around there maybe. So we've had Portugal and Canada watching. Isn't that marvellous? The 21st century, sometimes it hits you with a slap in the face. So we're ready for the second quarter. Rondebosch in the quarter jerseys, playing from right to left on your screens. Bishops in the all white. And somebody has waited until now to do his shoelaces up. There's always one in the team, isn't there? I think that's Cole Wilbrook.
I must say, back in our day, we had Mike Bechet, one of South Africa's sort of premier coaches and certainly schoolboy coaches. He's now up at Jeppe, and I think that was the first thing that I ever learned, is how to make sure that your shoelaces never ever come undone. I think I could have got a graze to the backside back in those days.
I saw Besh recently, and I see he's in the KP documentary. They sought him out to find out about what Kevin Peterson was like at Maritzburg College. So second quarter underway, and Rondebosch sending the ball forward, but easily turned over by Bishops. And some nice transference of the ball there. Some good aerial skills as well. Coming back from Phillips. Kasim can't believe that the blow's gone against him.
Yeah, no advantage there for Duval. because the attacker was within 5. So
here's Sorensen on the halfway line. Oh, he was looking for the long ball over the top. It didn't happen. Now, that's a great ball down the left-hand side for Bishops. They've got a couple of runners in the middle. There's a clash of sticks. Bishops have the ball. Stern defence there. Here's Kasim. He's looking to go all the way himself. And still he goes. And that's going to be penalty corner number 2 for Bishops.
I think he got a little bit lucky there. Could have been a little bit of a stick block, but again, with a guy of his experience, especially having played in the PHL earlier this month, you'll tend to get away with those.
So Kasim is lined up, as you look at it, on the right of the stopper. And here he goes with the drag flick. Oh, and it's come back off a stick, I think. That's a fantastic save from the follow-up. And then the kicker gets in the way. And number 4 has gone across the face. It's going to be a penalty flick. It was going in the goal, and the flick is given.
Yeah, Duval on the line there. Unfortunately, not much he could do other than take evasive action. So it would have been a goal if it hadn't been for the body. So the umpire had no choice but to award the penalty stroke. Some great goalkeeping there, though, from Jordan New. Literally with three sharp reflex saves, and eventually not able to keep it out.
The goal is good, and Bishops are in front. And we've had 3 minutes of the second quarter. Let's have a look at that again. Yeah, nothing a keeper can do about that. Too much heat on the ball. And so Rondebosch, having had the better of the game, probably in the first quarter, find themselves behind. This is the third attempt at goal, and then watch the ball as it comes across. Oh, maybe we'll get a chance to run that a little bit further, but the final bit of action, you'll see the ball stopped from crossing the line, and that's what the penalty stroke was given for.
So Rondebosch with a chance to get themselves back in the game here. They need to convert this opportunity here into circle entry, but unfortunately not able to do so.
Yep, and they'll have to fall back into position. So Coach of Bishops was saying before the game, with a win apiece for these two sides this year, this is the grand decider, and at the moment it's Bishops who lead by 1-0. Rondebosch coming forward through Douglas Cox, and he was unable to keep the ball in play. Clark with the backhand, and it went nowhere, but he's rather fortunate that Bishops get the ball back. Kasim sending it forward, and Chamonix is dispossessed, and Rondebosch come back. Now they've got a runner in the D, who's Michael White, and the ball doesn't reach him.
Yeah, Cox needs to try and make some more connections up there, or at least keep the momentum with some free hits. Just been guilty a little bit of holding on for too long.
That's nice defence. And Bishops will get a chance to clear the lines again. Now, we're going to go back to that piece of action. So there's the first shot. Here's the second. And now watch as the ball comes across the face of goal here. It's hit the foot of the man on the close corner, and there's no argument about that. So the ball was going in the net, if it hadn't been for the foot in the way, and that's what the flick was for, and it was put away by Mustafa Kasim in the 18th minute of the game. So Bishop's leading by a goal to nil, but it is Rondebosch on the ball and inside the Bishop's quarter. That's a clever ball in along the baseline and then slapped wide. Looked like David Frost who got a stick on it.
Oh, Rondebosch will be very disappointed with that. Probably not much advantage, they would argue, given the fact that it was quite an acute angle to take the shot at. And the action goes straight up to the other side like it so often does. But fortunately, Rondebosch able to withstand that attack.
One of the Bishop's boys, it was a good job that there was a fence in the way, because I think he was going all the way to the car park there. Shrill blast on the whistle and Bishop's come forward again. Just losing matters in the midfield. Now Rondebosch pushing a couple of players forward. This is a good run. And that's going to be a free hit just outside the circle for Rondebosch, and they come piling forward.
Yeah, some lovely individual skill there from Skeepers. Again, just a pity that he wasn't able to get something tangible in the end zone there.
Yeah, didn't really make the best of that free hit. And Bishop stringing some good passes together. That's nicely done. And there's some movement up front as well. That's a great long ball. Ziggy Dalton is dispossessed though, and Sorensen sends the ball wide. Picked up on the right wing by Rhys Skeepers. He's been dispossessed and Bishop's come forward again. There comes the backhand, and there was a man on the far post, couldn't quite get the stick to it.
Yeah, you'd want Ziggy Dalton with his chin on the deck, sliding in on that far post there.
Rondebosch slightly surprised that they haven't got the hit this time. Here's Clark at the back for Bishops. Threads one through well. And using the width of the field very well indeed. That's a lovely little ramp. And it's going to be a penalty corner. And that'll be penalty corner number 3 for Bishops.
I think a little bit unlucky there from the defender. I think it was blown for a deliberate backstick. But I think it was a bit of a marginal call there.
Umpire did seem very certain. So Bishop's lining up. Let's have another look.
Oh, just didn't roll his stick over enough there. Otherwise, it would have been a good tackle. So umpire is certainly right to give it.
Oh, it's a variation in the end. It's not the one that they were looking for though, and Rondebosch come away with the ball. That's a good transfer. They've got a couple of runners down this right-hand side. There is one. Now he needs somebody making a run towards goal, and he's been dispossessed.
Yeah, Blow unfortunately on the ball there, not able to get an outcome, but he's stolen it back.
Oh, and he's come straight the way across an unguarded circle. And that was just a little bit sloppy in defence for Bishops, but they get away with it. So we've got 5 minutes left in the first half. Bishops leading Rondebosch by a goal to nil. Oh, long ball downfield is not properly defended. Cole Volbrook has to do the tidying up work, which he does very well. Cameron Prince supporting the boys in blue all the way from London. And they're expecting a 4-1 win to the Bosch. Okay, Cameron. I think it's raining in London. There was no cricket for most of the day at Lord's. Picked up for the Bosch by Jean-Luc Duval, and he's dispossessed. Does well to get it back. Now here goes Duval down the left-hand side. Just couldn't link up with one of the attacking players. Up there was Matthew Miller, wearing number 13. It's all getting a little bit scrappy down there, and possession turns over to Bishops. Lovely play from Kasim. Gets the offload away and very nearly on the end of the pass.
With quick hands and quick feet, very difficult to defend, but literally opening the Rondebosch midfield up like a can of sardines.
Lovely little flick on the inside there. So it just looks as if Rondebosch are in need of an injection of enthusiasm. They've just been stymied, and that goal from the penalty flick by Mustafa Kasim has just sucked a little bit of energy away from the Rondebosch boys. Let's see whether half time comes and they get a chance for a good talking to.
Yeah, I think at times like this in the game, you need your S under 18 and under 16 players to put their hand up, and so we're wondering who that's going to be from the Rondebosch perspective.
Yeah, plenty of them, as you say. Just not putting enough passes together at the moment, but here's an opportunity. Coming forward at pace is Douglas Cox. And that's really good defence on the edge of the D. Rondebosch will have another go. Looking to get to the byline. And the hit goes the way of Bishops. 90 seconds left in the first half. Bishops putting a bit of pressure on in midfield. Rondebosch have got a 2-on-2 here. That's a great little break. Now, oh dear, probably should have looked to link inside. There were two players available, and instead he went for the glory shot, did Douglas Cox, and didn't get it on target.
Yeah, at the moment, I think that's the difference between the two teams. Bishops have been able to link up with the other players and offload at critical times, and whereas the Rondebosch guys have been trying to just do it themselves, and the Bishops defense has been up for it.
Another chance though for Rondebosch late in the half. Can he get the ball goalwards? He can't.
Great close down and save there by Kotze to deny the Rondebosch forwards.
That's probably the last chance of the half.
You know, Robbie Blow just not quite able to get enough lift on the ball there. Otherwise, Kotze went down quite early, but snuffed out the chance.
That's a good ball across field for Bishops. Kasim manages to keep the ball in play. Amazing skills from him. That's Azair Sunday on the ball, and there goes the whistle to end the first half. So just the one goal in the first half. It came 3 minutes into the second quarter, and it arrived from a penalty flick after the ball was intercepted by a foot on the line following a penalty corner, and it was converted by Mustafa Kasim, who's winning his 100th cap for Bishops today. So there's the half-time score. Rondebosch 0, Bishops 1. First half. Second half is about to get underway. Rondebosch in the quartered jerseys, playing from left to right on your screens, and they trail the boys of Bishops by a goal to nil. Yeah, Steve Evans is at S3 Vans, is that right? Or should it be S Evans?
No, S3 Vans.
S3 Vans, okay. And I am
can't believe
Andy
someone
Capistano.
got S Evans. I mean, come on, Andy.
Oh, thank you. Nobody got Andy Capistano, I can tell you that. We're a very rare breed, fortunately. So, we're about to get underway. And don't forget, of course, you can also follow School Sports Live on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook. Hashtag SSL Hockey. Do get in touch. Tell us where you are. We've already heard from people in Portugal, in Canada, in London. People following the hockey. It's wonderful to feel connected. So, second half underway. And Bishops on the attack. There's the first tomahawk shot, and it brings penalty corner number 4 for Bishops.
Yeah, that's just what you want, Andy, after half-time. Some nice solid combination plays there down the left, and yeah, managing to get that backstick shot away and on target, and unfortunately Rondebosch not being able to deal with the rebound.
Stay in the dry, Cameron. carry on watching the hockey. So let's keep an eye here. It looks like we've got Uzair Sunday on the right and Mustafa Kasim on the left of the castle. And the injector is Chris Clark. Here's Kasim, and the first wave defence got in the way very well there. Charging out at pace was Jean-Luc Duval.
It's okay, you can rub it now.
That's an interesting ball all the way downfield. Can he keep it in play and wait for the troops to arrive? And just unable to pick out one of the support runners. See how quickly Bishop's got back into defence there after the ball was hit far downfield.
Yeah, I think Bishop's choosing to set up nice and deep and play Rondebosch on the counter attack. So wait for the mistake and then counter attack downfield. Be interesting to see how Rondebosch deal with it as the game goes on and as the players start to get a bit more tired. I think that's gonna be quite a telling factor.
Ball forward from Chris Clark. And that's lifted into the D. The umpire will blow dangerous. Forward come Rondebosch. Oh, no doubt they had a good chat from the coach at half-time, but no real change from Rondebosch evident at the moment. Here's Clark at the back for Bishops. And that's too far in front of the runners. Now the Bishops boys to our left beginning to make a noise.
Now, so far the Bishops team able to move the ball around quite nicely, make those combination plays. Rondebosch just turning the ball over, guilty of those double turnovers.
Yeah, there goes the whistle. So Rondebosch will have the ball. See what they can make of this. This is Rhys Skierpers sending it back. Picked up by the captain, Sorensen. Turnover ball for Bishops. And straight away, they're right back on the attack. The long, long ball downfield. It's brilliantly saved by the keeper. If that had gone over the stick, it was in the net, no question about it. And then a good save with the kicker. And eventually the whistle goes and Rondebosch will have a chance to clear. So that was a great long ball out of defence that very nearly brought the second goal for Bishops.
Yeah,
here it is again.
Fantastic stick save there from Jordan New, and then done really well to stay up and on his feet to close down that angle.
And
back up there at the end.
Yep, down the other end. Can Rondebosch get the ball on target? Yes, they can!
Skierpers.
That's the equaliser from Skierpers. And it comes with 5 minutes left, or rather 5 minutes gone in the third quarter. So, as so often in hockey, action at one end leads to a goal at the other end, and Rhys Skierpers does the job. Now Bishops come piling forward again. Let's have a look at it again. There it is.
Yeah, two nice little interplays there between the Rondebosch forwards, and a great little finish from Skeepers in the bottom left.
Comes with 20 minutes gone in the game, and that should give them that little bit of confidence that they've been lacking.
And another penalty corner there that's just been blown for a robust tackle.
And that is penalty corner number 4 for Rondebosch. Well, what a turnaround this could be if they can convert here.
And that's the key thing, Andy. It's all about managing those phases of the game. And as you say, from pressure up one end, suddenly to 2 chances down the other end. So let's see if Sorensen can put this away.
So Sorensen on the right of the castle, Sparks on the left. And it is Sorensen with the shot. Oh, it's come back off the upright. Sparks with the reverse stick, and he's hit it across the face of goal.
Well, they went for a little slider there on the near post, and I think it'll be interesting to see on the replay if he managed to get a touch. But coming off the post there, so really unlucky, and that could well have changed the game. Oh, the Bishop's second wave's done a great job to get in the way of that sliding deflection. In fact, that probably saved the Bishops from the goal there.
So we definitely have a contest now. It's 1 apiece, and we're halfway through the 3rd quarter. Don't like the sound of those drums. Maybe he's not their regular drummer.
We're not up on the high felt, Andy.
So Walbrook sending it downfield. There's nobody on the end of that. Skeepers was the man it was aimed at.
And the Bosch boys getting their war cries going here. Picking up on...
There's the Rondebosch that the school's named after.
Yeah, Chris Clark trying to dribble his way out of the pressure there and making a mistake. So Rondebosch still got the pressure on, and that's going to... Lucky to...
Yeah, looking for the penalty corner. The blow goes the other way. Bishops will have a chance to clear their lines. So it's definitely been... Ben Chimenet does really well there. Lost the ball first time, got it back again, and now he pushes it across field. The first touch letting down the Bishops boy there. And a little bit of a squandering of possession for Rondebosch. And see the rolling substitutions all ready to come on. Oliver Diggle has had a little bit of a sit down, and he's coming back on. And can see Luke Richardson there as well. So both sides making 2 or 3 changes simultaneously, getting the fresh legs out there as we head for the last 5 minutes of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I think Rondebosch just needing to move the Bishops' defence a little bit more. At the moment, they're guilty a little bit of just going one way and then sticking in that channel. But here comes a counter attack from Robbie Blow. He's done well to get into the end zone and into the circle. Can he get something out of it? No, not quite. Well defended there by the Bishops' defence.
Yeah, he did well to keep the ball alive there. There's a nice little shoulder charge there. Azir Sunday wins the ball. Good ball across field. And Rondebosch come away. They've got nobody up front, and that's easily picked off in midfield, and Bishops will go back the other way with numbers. Rondebosch have possession. Oh, that's been well cut out, and good defence there from Sorensen. He recognised the danger early, got in the way of what was a very good pass, and now there's an opportunity at the other end. It's picked up by Max Stead, and he's dispossessed, but will have to give up possession, Will Bishops. Rondebosch just losing a little bit of momentum with that back pass and unable to complete it down the right-hand side.
Yeah, Kasim not able to pick the ball up cleanly and just obstructing with his body there.
Good old-fashioned shoulder charge, nothing wrong with that. Let's come off the foot. And Sorensen has the ball for Rondebosch. Sorensen's elder brother Bjorn is in his 6th year of medical studies. I hate to think of his poor parents who've now got to put another one through tertiary education. So Rondebosch with the hit on the left-hand side. Here is Sorensen. And that's gone the way of Bishops.
Yeah, it's interesting, Andy. I'm just watching the setup of the back four of the Rondebosch team here, and they've opted to have an extra person in midfield, and they don't have anyone out on the right over here, just in front of the commentary box. And I think that's causing them a few problems, because the Bishops' defense is just holding that middle of the field, and they're sort of plugging away. So I think they're going to have to change that up, or at least have a look at that for this final quarter.
Here's a good ball through. Oh, and the first touch just letting them down.
Yeah, Robbie Blow had the right idea there, coming back onto his forehand to try and get the shot away, but unfortunately just pushed it through a little bit too far.
David Allardyce doing well in defence there for Bishops. He's one of the grade 11 boys. Yep. Cole Volbrook unable to bring that ball under control without it hitting the body. So here's Clark on the far side.
Yeah, the Bishops back five really working it beautifully from left to right there, using their midfield, making it very, very difficult for the Rondebosch team to defend. Although here comes Rondebosch now down the left-hand side.
Oh, that's a great ball out in front of Douglas Cox. Cox taking it towards the goal. Can he get the shot in? Looking to pull the trigger. He's scored! That's a fantastic goal from Douglas Cox. It comes in the very last minute of the third quarter, and it puts Rondebosch ahead for the first time.
That's fantastic work there from Cox, getting himself into trouble on that baseline, but then doing a little indoor spin around, and I think catching Kotze a little bit by surprise.
How did he manage to thread that one between the keeper and the post? Who knows, but that is half-time. There's not half-time, it is the end of the third quarter. So we've got one quarter to go, and Rondebosch have come back from 1-0 down, which they were after 18 minutes, and they now lead this game by 2-1. And suddenly there's a little glum look gone around the Bishops boys. And their coach laying down the law, Aziz Kasim, of course, he's the father of Mustafa and Dayan. Dayan is also here tonight with the national side, and as you mentioned earlier, Steve, fantastic to see the national side here, supporting one of these premier schoolboy clashes. One more look at the goal, Steve.
Oh, Kotze will be a little bit disappointed with that, but yeah, great work there to realise he was in on the baseline with not much going for him, and just pivoted off that left foot round in one sweep, and then having that little cheeky shot, and Kotze, I think, probably expecting a cross more than a shot on goal, and just got his feet tangled up there, unfortunately.
So Bishops, for the first time in the game, having to play catch up. What can they do in this fourth and final quarter?
Nice right-hand side play there. Kazim getting Dalton away, but Dalton not able to win a free hit there.
Rondebosch putting the pressure on. Swept in by Bishops. Oh, here's an opportunity. Can he pull the trigger? He can, but didn't get it on target. And that was Caleb Willifant. He's played for South Africa at under 17 level. Be disappointed he didn't get it on target.
Yeah, it was great defending there from, I think it was Sorensen. No, not. Just keeping nice and tight, and I think the key thing there was, yeah, the closer you are to the attacker, the more in favour the umpire is to give you the free hit. So that pressure certainly counting.
So Rondebosch on the ball, but that's gone nowhere. When I say nowhere, it nearly knocked over those boys like skittles. Now here's Mustafa Kasim sending it forward, and that's asking way too much of Chris Clark. Long way in front of him as the defender was making the overlapping run. So
yeah, it was Joseph Gray, the defender there on that shot. Brave defending, and yeah, did a great job.
Here's Sorensen bringing it forward for Rondebosch. Kicked back into play by the keeper, and that's not always the best thing to do. It's easily picked up by Paul Rousseau. Rousseau taking it to the baseline.
Oh, lovely tight skills there from Rousseau.
Yeah, and he will retain possession for Rondebosch. That's come off the foot of the defender. So ball lifted in, and
you know, just watching the replay here, you'll see Rousseau setting up the defender for that little inside pull, and then some nice tight hands to win the free hit.
Now Bishop's going the other way. It's well kept in. But, any ball lifted like that is a problem, and there's going to be a green card. It's gone against Rondebosch.
Yeah, I think that's Hazel. I'm not sure. I think it was for a little stick tackle there in the midfield.
So extra player for Bishops for the next 2 minutes. Can they make it count? Just got 12 minutes left in this game. They trail by 2-1.
Bishop's guilty of trying to force it in. They've got plenty of time. They just need to get their back four nice and structured, and move that Rondebosch defence in on the baseline now. Some nice tight skills, but some very good defending there from Bishops.
Very crowded circle, but no feet involved.
Bishops plugging away down that right-hand side, very congested. Not able to get an outcome there.
So Sorensen gets it going again. Long ball down the left wing. Turned over by Bishops. Good skills there on the halfway line. Ben Cheminay doing good work. And in the middle of the park, Bishop's controlling.
Bishop's with some nice shape across the back four now, and they've opened up this left-hand channel. But Elliott decides to go back around. So good patience there from the Bishops.
This is Liam Hoffman taking it over the halfway line, back to Murray Gordon. Gordon has a look. This is much better from Bishops. Great ball in. Here's a real opportunity to level the scores, and he's done it. It's 2 apiece. And the captain, James Howard, gets the goal.
Yeah, again, that patience from the back four and just getting their platform nice and high, nice and set, and then the ability to distribute it right into the circle, into the heart of Rondebosch danger territory. Great little 45 in, and I think Jordan New will be a little bit disappointed with not being able to make the save there.
Well, what a last 10 minutes we've got now. It's all locked up at 2 apiece. James Howard with a captain's goal when it was required. He's the captain of the cricket team as well, incidentally. And Bishop's looking now for a third. Suddenly they've got their mojo back. And good defence. Here's Skierpers, scorer of the second goal for Rondebosch. The whistle goes the way of Rondebosch. That's been a really good, well-contested game of schoolboy hockey. Lots of skills on display. That's what we love to see. Sorensen slams it forward. That's Blows, who did well to control the ball. Skierpers gets it inside the D. And Kasim comes away for Bishops. It's an interesting first-time ball from Sunday.
Left side attack now for Rondebosch. Work it across the circle, but unfortunately Rousseau not able to find Blow.
Good ball down the middle of the field. Josh Elliott pushing it out to Chris Clark. Just a little bit of pressure being applied by Rondebosch. They're pushing players forward now. Now here's Elliott. That's a really good ball.
Lovely combination play.
This is Oliphant on the ball now. He's done really well. Can he pull the trigger? Over the top. Oh, there was some serious heat on that.
Lovely little combination play in midfield to open up the Rondebosch defence.
Bishops will have the long corner. Keeper's been drawn and has done well.
Yeah, New's done well to close Kasim down there.
Here's Clark out on the wing. Lovely ball in. That little deflection. And Rondebosch breathe again. So we've got 6 minutes left in this game. It's locked up at 2 apiece. Oh, do we have a card here? Yeah. Umpire's gone straight to the pocket, and it's a yellow. Oh, that's significant. So for almost the rest of the match, Rondebosch will be a man down.
Yeah, I was a little bit careless there from Robbie Blow, and let's hope that that doesn't cost Rondebosch now having to defend with 10 men for the last 5 minutes. Yeah, I think he's just got it wrong. He's come in expecting him to hold and carry it down the line, and just getting a bit clumsy.
And he didn't hang around, did he? He knew he'd done wrong. So 5 minutes in the naughty chair, and just over 5 minutes remaining in the game. Bishops with the advantage of the extra man, but they are now deep in their own quarter. Long ball forward, one for Kasim to chase. Yeah, it's getting quite physical out there. Umpire wants it taken from the right spot. And now here's Cole Volbruch sending it in. And he did find the attacker, and it is going to be a penalty corner. And that is penalty corner number 5 for Rondebosch. And it comes at a very significant moment.
Oh, it's such a difficult ball to defend, coming in just around sort of mid-shin height, and having to worry about both your man and the ball at the same time.
So once again, keep your eye on Sorensen and Sparks. Sorensen right in the middle, Sparks on the left. Sorensen, it's there! The first wave defence didn't get there in time, and Sorensen powers one home.
Be interesting to see the replay there, Andy. I'm not sure if there wasn't a little bit of interference on the right hand side, or perhaps even a little slider tip in.
Oh, here it is.
No, sorry, it's come straight. It's come off the postman's stick and into the roof. Great flick.
Yeah, you got a feel for the defenders there, but the goal is good. Came off Josh Elliott's stick on the line.
Yeah, I think in fairness to him, I think Kotza might have actually got a little foot on it, so probably off his toe onto the stick and then into the net. Bishop's back at the other end now, really putting a lot of pressure on, and yeah, you can see the urgency of the game has clicked up a notch or two.
Yeah, well, we've got 2.5 minutes left, and remember that Rondebosch scored with a man in the naughty chair. So Bishop still have the extra player. Can they get the shot on target? No. Over the top. Oh, what a dramatic second half this has been. Two goals in the last 7 minutes. And Bishop's playing catch up for a second time. Hello, Ernst. Nice to see you there. And the long ball over the top. Picked up by Skierpers. Can Skierpers put it away? Skierpers gets to the byline. It's crossed that line. So Bishops will have the free hit upfield. One last chance for them as we approach the final minute. Oh, and he's missed in defence there. They're queuing up for the ball. Kasim got a shot in and then flicked away by Rondebosch.
Yeah, Volbruch, I think, lucky he'd slipped and was down on the ground, and Kasim could have played it into him got the corner but opted to go around him and take the goal shot, but not able to convert. Low on the ball now with a little one-on-one.
Yeah, he's all on his own.
Got some pace.
Can't manage to keep that ball in field. And we're inside the last 20 seconds. Bishops perhaps with one last opportunity. They need to send it upfield very quickly. Still putting the structure together well, but the clock is their enemy. Rondebosch desperately piling people back behind the ball carrier. And it's getting very physical out there. The umpire says play on. And swept
won
away.
The corner.
But there is going to be one last penalty corner in this game. Penalty corner number 5 for Bishops.
I think Sorensen's having a word with the umpire about whether the ball was stationary when the free hit was taken. But great quick free hit there from Bishops and able to force the penalty corner.
So Chris Clark is having one last word before he injects. And this is one last chance for Bishops. Time is up on our clock. Pressure on the injector, pressure on the stopper. Oh, and it's a shot at goal which is well blocked. They're calling for a re-award and it's been given.
Yeah, Kasim's done really well there. Got the first shot away, came off the keeper's helmet, and then a tight 1-against-1 scrap on the ground, but I think he's managed to just get it over the stick and onto the foot.
So you'd put your money on something from Kasim here. He's the magic man, winning his 100th cap. And this is the last action of the match. Here's Kasim. Oh, he goes for the variation, and that's great save. Rondebosch have done it. And they are absolutely engulfed by their delighted fellow students. And Bishops are desolate. Players who are playing their final game for Bishops can't believe that they've gone out with defeat to the old enemy. Well, was that a fair reflection of the match, Steve? 3-2 Rondebosch?
I think on the balance, probably a draw would have been fair, Andy. Young Bishops side, so I think 70% of their team are going to be back looking to fight it out again next year. Rondebosch, can't fault them for their efforts and for their performance. I think the key thing being that they took their chances when they mattered, made something from nothing.
This is the last action of the match, and it did bring a shot at goal. Watch the little pirouette here from Kasim, and then the shot coming in from Sunday, well saved by Jordan New.
Yeah, it was interesting when I was watching that. Sunday was actually on the right-hand side for that first variation, and moving him to the left, I suspected they were going to go there. Unfortunately not able to get the goal shot past the keepers.
So I hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. My thanks to Steve Evans and everybody involved with School Sports Live. Thanks for producing some excellent pictures and giving us a real taste of the action and the atmosphere here at Western Province Cricket Club. There's the final score then. Rondebosch 3, Bishops 2.